Welcome back to the Deep Dive, where we dig into your sources to pull out the important stuff. This time we're taking a deep dive into Diana Gabaldon's An Echo in the Bone, the seventh book in the Outlander series.
You guys asked for a spoiler-free look, so we're going to focus on the history behind it, the relationships, and the themes. But don't worry, no plot twists will be revealed.
So get ready to jump back into the 18th century. There's war, family, secrets, and love that lasts through it all.
And for those of you who love learning on the go, we want to give a shout out to Mindful Moments. It's your daily dose of deep dives, all narrated by AI.
You can nourish your mind no matter where you are. Now let's get into An Echo in the Bone. We meet up with Claire and Jamie again, and Brianna, their daughter, and her husband, Roger.
But there's a new generation, too, especially William, who's dealing with some tough relationships and a mysterious mission.
What I find really interesting is how Gabaldon brings in real people and events from history into William's story. His life unfolds during the American Revolution, which gives us a different way to see that conflict.
It's like she seamlessly blends fact and fiction. And speaking of conflict, it sounds like Claire and Jamie are facing their own challenges back on Fraser's Ridge. Danger seems to be everywhere, from angry neighbors to the threat of war.
Right. It really makes you think about how violence affects people and the struggle to survive in a frontier setting. Claire's medical skills become even more important as she deals with all the injuries and sickness.
It's like her expertise takes center stage. And just when you think things can't get more intense, Ian comes back from his time with the Mohawk.
He returns with his own burdens to carry.
Yeah, Ian's story adds another layer to the idea of family legacy and love's lasting power, which are themes throughout the whole series. Every character has to make tough choices, balancing what they want with what their loved ones need.
Gabaldon really keeps you guessing. There's talk of buried treasure, mysterious Spaniards, and even hints of something supernatural.
It's that mix of historical detail, compelling characters, and a little bit of mystery that makes An Echo in the Bone so gripping. But what really sets this book apart is how deeply she explores her characters' inner lives.
Exactly. William's struggle with his family history and his longing for a father figure is so powerful.
His journey really shows us how complex identity can be and the search for where we belong. And then there's Claire, who, even with her strength and resilience, is still haunted by what she's gone through.
It makes you wonder about the long-term effects of trauma and how hard it can be to heal even when your life is full of love and adventure.
That's a really good point. And then there's Jamie, a man who's seen and been through so much, yet he's still capable of so much love and loyalty.
It's that never-give-up spirit that makes readers love him. He is like a symbol of strength and resilience, showing how powerful the human heart is, even when facing tough times.
And of course, there's the love story at the center of it all. Claire and Jamie's bond continues to defy time and challenge.
It's a love that's faced so many obstacles, yet somehow it always finds a way. That's what makes their story so timeless, so captivating.
Absolutely. And in An Echo in the Bone, we see how their love affects those around them. It touches the lives of their children and grandchildren.
It's amazing how Gabaldon uses the American Revolution as the backdrop to explore these personal journeys. We're not just reading about the war, we're experiencing it through these characters who are so invested in its outcome.
It really shows how much research she's done and her attention to detail. The sights and sounds, even the smells of the 18th century come alive.
You can practically feel the tension and uncertainty as William figures out his role in the conflict. He's torn between loyalty to the British and growing sympathy for the American cause.
It's a great reflection of one of the book's main themes: the struggle to balance what we believe with what's expected of us by society and our duty.
And William's not the only one caught in the middle. Claire's medical skills become crucial for both sides, which forces her to face the harsh realities of war up close.
There's this one scene that really sticks with me. Claire encounters a wounded soldier with a terrible infection. You can almost smell the gangrene, and even the seasoned soldiers are disturbed. But Claire pushes past her own feelings and focuses on saving his life.
It's a powerful reminder of her strength and how dedicated she is to helping her patients, no matter which side they're on.
And it also makes you think about the tough choices doctors have to make during war. How do you treat people without picking sides, especially when it's not clear who's the enemy?
It's something we still struggle with today with modern warfare and humanitarian aid.
Yeah.
It's a really relevant question.
Absolutely. And outside the battlefield, Gabaldon explores the social and political atmosphere of the era. We see the divide between those loyal to Britain and those fighting for independence, the unrest growing in the colonies, and how the war affects everyday people.
You know what really stood out to me? how she portrays the effects of war on women. They're often left behind to run things, take care of children, and live with this constant fear of losing loved ones.
Their strength is so often ignored in historical accounts, but Gabaldon makes sure their voices are heard, highlighting what they contributed and sacrificed.
And speaking of voices, Ian's journey in this book really moved me. He comes back from his time with the Mohawk, a changed man carrying the weight of experiences that have tested him in every way.
His struggles with grief and trauma are written with such honesty. It shows how violence can have a lasting impact and how difficult it is to return to a society that doesn't truly understand what he's been through.
There's one scene I can't get out of my head. It's where he's talking to Claire and tries to explain the depth of his pain over losing someone. He tries to find the words, but just can't.
And Claire, being Claire, she just holds him and offers comfort and understanding without judgment. It's a beautiful example of how human connection can heal.
Right. And it shows us how important it is to listen to and support those who have experienced trauma, even when it's hard to see their pain.
For sure. Ian's story also brings up the question of cultural identity and trying to live between two worlds. He's pulled between his Scottish heritage and his connection to the Mohawk way of life.
It's a struggle I think a lot of people can relate to, even today. We all have different parts of ourselves, and sometimes they conflict. It can take a lifetime to figure out how to make those pieces fit together.
And in An Echo in the Bone, we see that playing out on a big scale, with a whole nation trying to figure out its identity.
It reminds us that history isn't just dates and battles. It's about the lives of the people who lived through those times, the choices they made, and the legacy they left behind.
And speaking of legacies, Roger and Brianna are dealing with their own as they raise their kids in a time so different from theirs.
It's like they're caught between two worlds, the comforts of the 20th century and the 18th century, trying to find that balance between old and new.
Exactly. Their story really shows the challenges of being a parent across different times and cultures. How do you teach your kids values and traditions when everything around you is changing?
It's a question a lot of parents ask themselves, no matter what time they live in. And Gabaldon doesn't give us easy answers. She shows us how complicated family life can be with honesty, and lets readers come to their own conclusions.
I agree. One thing that struck me about Roger and Brianna's story is how they start to realize the dangers of time travel. They're not just visiting the past. Their actions have consequences that can echo through generations.
Yeah, their realization connects to a bigger idea in the book, the way time is all connected, and our responsibility to the past, present, and future. The choices we make affect not just us, but those who come after us.
That's a powerful thought. And then we have William Buckley Mackenzie, this mysterious new character, who adds another layer of intrigue to the story. His arrival makes us question the nature of time travel and if it's possible to actually change history.
His presence also forces us to think about the ethics of it all. If we could change the past, should we? And what would happen if we did?
Right, those are tough questions, and Gabaldon explores them head on. She makes us think about the possibilities and question our assumptions about time and where we fit in.
An Echo in the Bone is like a tapestry woven from history, adventure, family drama, and philosophical questions.
It's a story that stays with you long after you've finished it. It makes you reflect on the choices we make, the legacies we inherit, and the enduring power of love and family.
If you're looking for a book that will transport you to another time and place, make you laugh, cry, and really think, then An Echo in the Bone is worth checking out.
We highly recommend diving into this epic tale. You can find a link to buy the book in the show notes.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into books and topics that interest you.
Tell your friends about the deep dive and share the link to this episode. We appreciate your support.
We'll be back with another exciting deep dive soon. Until then, happy reading.